Dearly beloved, and soon some departed. This is about commitment, and it's about committing serious, high aggravated federal crimes. Certainly not something to be entered into lightly. This is a very short list of persons soon to be arrested by the federal task force investigating Dirty DARPA. But stay tuned, the list is as long as my arm. First, we have Dr. Stephanie Tompkins, Dirty DARPA Director. Second, former DARPA Program Director and CEO of On Demand Pharmaceuticals, neurosurgeon Dr. Jeffrey Ling. Bluffton, South Carolina FBI agents, French and Downs, as well as others. I suspect you know your suspects. Too many to list at the United States Department of Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, aka Dirty DARPA. Dr. Karen Carroll and Mary Hill, and others at Beaufort Memorial Hospital. Several law enforcement officers in the Jacksonville, Florida area, especially the one who threw me out of the Hampton Inn and thought it was so funny that I'm a victim of human trafficking. Sheriff of Beaufort County, P.J. Tanner, and some of his deputies. Bill Gates of Microsoft, Nuance Communications, and LinkedIn, who threatened to kill my son when I told him that Nuance is guilty of human trafficking. Officer Richard Cook of Fairfax, Virginia, for perjury and conspiring with Dirty DARPA and Dr. Grouse, a psychologist, a liar, and a conspirator. Together they perjured themselves under oath and falsely imprisoned me. Also, this resulted in my two precious elderly dogs being impounded for 30 days in the Fairfax County Animal Shelter. By the way, less than a month later, after my 15-year-old Min Pin was so traumatized by being in the pound for a month, the Dirty DARPA local conspirators murdered her. Tony, the manager of the Moon Inn in Alexandria, Virginia, who threatened my life for peacefully protesting the atrocity Joe Biden and Donald Trump have created in Afghanistan. By the way, some citizens of Afghanistan are reaching out to me and begging for help. They are former Afghan soldiers that have been forced into hiding because the Taliban is trying to retaliate and kill them now. Doctors Diva Carla, Pickbot, and other physicians that the Dirty DARPA crime ring paid $100,000 each to falsely imprison me for 30 days at Dominion Psychiatric Hospital in Falls Church, Virginia. Also at Dominion Hospital, I certainly will never forget about Brittany, Virgil, Salama, Dan, and especially Skylar, as well as others. Also imposter patients Jennifer, Nellie, Deidre, and others. And an ER doctor and two registered nurses at the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville, Florida, when I presented to have my illegal DARPA implant identified. They told me they were giving me Ativan prior to an MRI, but after injecting me, I developed intense confusion and lockjaw. They then said it was Haldol, which I'm allergic to, that they had given me. Then they had me transferred to a filthy mental institution. Thankfully, the federal task force had me released in less than 48 hours. Lastly, I've been told by the task force to give a shout out to Massachusetts General, aka Mass Gen. I've never been there, but they tell me no need. The task force said y'all are done anyway, in the bag, so to speak. So, to all the above, I want to be the first to introduce you to a new friend. Actually, a friend of all U.S. citizens, and this friend and I are coincidentally the same age. So, with no further ado, may I present Miranda. And actually, Miranda isn't a girl. Whoops. She's named for Ernesto Miranda, number 1 in this lineup. Miranda is a nice mix of the Fifth and Sixth Amendments to the United States Constitution. Miranda only actually applies to before being interrogated and after being arrested. But since the task force probably won't let me help arrest you, and since your arrests are imminent, let me be the first to say. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to consult with a lawyer and have that lawyer present during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you if you so desire. Do you understand these rights? Now, for the reason for my attire. I'm wearing white after Labor Day, not keeping up with terre haute couture. Well, I'm wearing this because it's a protest about my fear of commitment, yet there are no wedding bells ringing. On 2 assignments for the task force investigating the Dirty DARPA racketeering group, I wore this dress, to hospital emergency rooms, Beaufort Memorial Hospital and the Mayo Clinic. And just as the task force knew, I was involuntarily committed in a psychiatric facility, although was, and have been mentally competent and not meeting the criteria under the law for taking away my freedom. In fact, I've been committed more times than I can count because of the dirty DARPA crime ring, deprived of my freedom, robbed of my dignity, held down and injected with medications that were not indicated, bruised and restrained by big, strong men illegally, and due to all this, I lost my career as an RN as well as my 5-year-old daughter. Also, both of my children were frightened when they were young, when their mommy got locked away and they could not see her. And as adults, both of my children are terribly embarrassed by me being locked up in mental hospitals. So, needless to say, I really do have bad yet understandable fear of commitment. So, to those of you at Beaufort Memorial Hospital, the Mayo Clinic, Dominion Hospital, and so many others, it was really bad what you did. And very understandable that you now fear for your true imprisonment. Were those dirty DARPA dollars really worth it? Over the years, but especially during the past year, my life has been threatened and in danger. Not only that, but due to dues, direct energy weapons, DARPA is going to be paying some very heavy dues themselves. They have been attempting to kill me for many months, while at the same time threatening me not to take the federal witness stand against them. Now get this. This is how flagrant and high and mighty they think they are. They know that killing a federal witness of crimes of a racketeering influenced corrupt organization, RICO, exactly what the dirty DARPA crime ring is, could get them the death penalty. But they kept right on trying. I guess after they've gotten away with killing the love of my life, 31-year-old Scott Hieronymus, 15 years ago, they thought nothing of killing another one of their victims. But here's why I call the dirty DARPA crime ring a bunch of oxymorons. They're supposedly a bunch of genius mad scientists, but they've got to be the dumbest bunch of inbred idiots ever. DARPA knows I have a neural implant that both sees and hears better than I do. So absolutely every single crime that they've committed against me is recorded on high-quality format and transmitted to servers via United States Department of Defense satellite. So in most cases, there's no need for me to even show up in court. Federal agents have been watching and recording everything. They're the ones who will testify about the details in these RICO prosecutions. Yet, because of the due attacks on my life, this whole crime ring will be saying, wow, why did we do the do? Because yes, those are federal death penalty offenses. So really, you're meeting Miranda very, very late in life. And as I always say, better late than stagnate, right? So we have something old, something new, something borrowed. Where'd it go? I think that Senor Rico stole my two pens. Now that my own fear of being imprisoned in healthy, cruel, condemnable institutions is behind me, and I no longer fear commitment, please allow me to introduce all of you to my intended, Jeff, a federal task force agent and my #1 fan. I know all of the dirty DARPA members remember Jeff, the guy who you believe to be such a great friend to you all. The dirty Fed who was really an undercover task force agent that told you, hey, it's okay. If anything happens, I'll take the rap. But you need to make sure you tell me everything, all the details, so I will be convincing. And all of you had sit-downs with your good friend and my fiance, Jeff, and gave him all the skinny on all your heinous crimes. all on candid camera. Well, it looks like that milk carton is expired. It's sour, and this is one policeman who wasn't your friend. If anyone watching this video has a conscience and would like to roll on the Dirty DARPA crime ring in exchange for possible leniency, speak now or forever rest in peace. So, by the power vested in me by the Federal Task Force, and especially by my big Jiffy Pop, I now pronounce all of you busted. You can kiss my ass.